will holler. And it hollered through this room. Now, I'm not calling Mr. DeSantis a racist. I'm simply saying the racists believe he's a racist.
If you're not following the Florida governor's race, you should be. That was one of the more heated exchanges from the final debate for Florida governor between former Republican Congressman Ron DeSantis and Tallahassee's Democratic Mayor Andrew Gillum, where the issue of race was a big part of last night's meetup. The Miami Herald described it as a bare-knuckle brawl and writes, "Cool was lost. The moderator was not spared any venom, and in between daggers and accusations, when policy was actually discussed, two candidates firmly on the opposite ends of the political spectrum left little for the voters in the middle to chew on. With less than 2 weeks to go, polls still show Gillum with the lead over his opponent. The latest Real Clear Politics average has him 4.5 points ahead of DeSantis. Joyce, Steve, and the table are here. What do you make of this race?
You know, this has been a Republican state at that level for so long.
I worked for a past Republican governor.
You did, and it's strange to see it changing. It really has. But you know what? Look, I think that Ron DeSantis made a tactical choice in the primary to dive headlong into the Trump wing of the party and court them, and he is paying the price. It used to be that if you were a Republican in the primary, it was a problem of tacking too hard right on issues, and now it's a problem of tacking and becoming too Trumpy, and he became too Trumpy.
Let's illustrate your point. Here's one of DeSantis's ads.
Everyone knows my husband, Ron DeSantis, is endorsed by President Trump, but he's also an amazing dad. Ron loves playing with the kids.
Build the wall.
He reads stories.
Then Mr. Trump said, "You're fired." I love that part.
He's teaching Madison to talk.
Make America great again.
People say Ron's all Trump, but he is so much more.
Big league. So good.
I just thought you should know.
Ron DeSantis for governor.
Listen, this ad is both the best and worst ad of the cycle. It probably gave him the nomination, but now it looks silly. And it really probably will cost him the general.
It looks like a parody. I mean, just to deconstruct it for 1 second, she says, "You know that Donald Trump has endorsed my husband, but he's a good father." In other words, it's saying he's demonized by Donald Trump, but he has some saving graces. He's actually nice to his children. I mean, that's kind of amazing that that's the ad.
And that's where we are. Corinne Jean-Pierre is joining the conversation. She's a senior advisor to MoveOn.org, and you've been on the ground around the country. This race seems like one that is, I don't want to jinx anything, but trending in the Democrats' favor. Talk about what you see going on in what we've been describing as a pretty red state.
Yeah, it really is. I mean, you know, you guys, I'm sure, talked about Donald Trump won the state by 1 or 2 percentage points. It's a very red state. It's the big battleground states in the in the presidential election. I think what's happening is in this particular election is DeSantis has literally embraced the worst parts of Donald Trump's political playbook. And by doing that, you have white nationalists. He sent a loud and clear message to white nationalists who are coming out and supporting him. I'm sure you guys talked about the robocalls that have happened after he kicked off his general election campaign with a racial slur. And so essentially what's happening, though, Nicole, is they're running a very, very different campaign. You have, and closing arguments are, you have DeSantis saying, you know, fear-mongering, doing fear-mongering, politics of fear, and that's what he's going with. And you have Andrew Gillum, if elected, would be the first African-American governor of Florida running in an inspiring campaign, really authentic, and talking about the issues that people care about. I mean, young people, you talk to young people in the state who are in college and in university coming out to support him, and they will tell you exactly why they support Andrew Gillum. And they are energized and totally all in for him. And so it's very two different campaigns. And we're talking about the midterms where Democrats, the base does not come out on our side. And so Andrew Gillum has been able to do that because